Hey, guys. All of you who watch, probably just my family, hello. Um, this video, I don't actually have any plan for. I never have any plans for my videos, and honestly, my plan, quote unquote, is just me randomly deciding to press the record button in the middle of a game. Sometimes I may let whoever I'm playing with know that a video's gonna start. Well, obviously not randoms. Randoms, they're not close to me. They're not gonna know about it. But and honestly, as long as your real name ain't in there, all good, I guess. But yeah, don't really I don't really plan out my videos. I my version of planning the video is, do I want to make a video today? Do I want to do that? Sure, why not? And so I press a button on my controller that starts recording, and I make a recording. And whatever happens, happens. And so, yeah, everything in the video that you guys see is raw footage, and it is unedited because I don't have that skill. I don't have the technology exactly yet to edit videos. Well, I do, I think. I just have to figure it out. But editing and the videos I provide you are all first attempt. I never what's the fucking word? I don't stage things. I don't do something where it's like maybe I do a mission, right? Like just I'm gonna throw in a fucking random example here. I don't go over here, decide what mission would I like to make a video on, and then I go, and then I don't make a video, and then if it isn't eventful enough, I don't do a thing where maybe the mission isn't as eventful as I'd like it to be, isn't as jaw dropping or eye catching as I'd like it to be, so I ditch the recording and then try again. I don't do that. Whatever happens in it, that's what you're getting, guys. Like, you guys are getting the raw first attempt, real reactions. I don't have a schedule. I won't for a while. But I won't have any, like, upload schedule where I plan out when I'm uploading and when I'm releasing uploads. No, I just make a video and then send it out. Anyway, today, the video is going to be about mostly customizations. So I don't actually think I have a main particularly. Like, main, for those of you who don't know what a main is, because I have a feeling some of you who watch me don't know, a main is, like, in this case, the class that you primarily use. Why I'm explaining this is because I know there's some people out there who don't play. I know there's some people who watch my videos who don't know these things. Who don't either they don't play games, so they don't really know, or they just don't know the context, so they're completely thrown off. If you're that person, please comment and say so. Because number one, either I'd like to call you out, which I think I am doing right now, or I'd like to know that there are people out there who have no idea what I'm talking about unless I explain it. Because then, if you guys let me know that you exist, I will keep that in mind. But today we are going to do more customizations and testing. So the primary class that I use, or used, is my Bulwark, which is a shield boy. And then I'm working on the Assault. I actually did do it. I have prestiged once, which means I've reached the maximum level one time. I can do it 3 more times. Well, actually, one time in here, and then I haven't done that yet. I'm in Prestige 1. I'm level 5. I need to upgrade 20 more levels to get to Prestige 2, and again to get to Prestige 3, and then again to get to Prestige 4. And then I can get to level 25 in Prestige 4 just so I have all the perks. But my Assault is good enough, let's say. But I'm going to update the Thunderhammer in there. And then my third, the one I just started using, the Heavy. And now, to those of you who see my videos, let me know what kind of class you seem to prefer. And then as well, yeah, I don't really plan out my videos, but I do make videos and I don't forget about it ever. I just either I do or I don't. And yeah, if you like my content, despite how random the uploads are, and if you might never get an upload or a video for like 2 months, but then suddenly get 5 in a day, but like completely randomized video uploads. If you don't mind that, but you still like my content, please like the video and subscribe, because I will keep doing that. I will keep doing exactly what you don't mind me doing. Anyway, to those of you who have a good fashion sense in this shit, because I have a fashion sense, I have a good fashion sense, but I am very picky. I need things to be not like uneven, let's say. Because let's say this bird on my face is gold. That would be a little too much gold, I feel like. Like, let's do this. Let's do this. I'll show you. Do. Like, let's turn this bird gold. That seems a little bit too gold up in the head, doesn't it? Like, it seems like a little too much gold. But then that's too white. This is fine. This is fine for me. I'm fine with this. But yeah, if you guys have any customization tips, or like any particular way you'd like to customize, please tell me. And then, if I don't get to a class, I want to try out all of the classes just to see how they work. Although I'd like to keep upgrading my Pyre Cannon. I almost had it. Wait. So my perk, right, here's the thing. And again, to those of you who don't really have information on Warhammer, because I imagine most of you don't, there is a possibility that one of you will have like ungodly levels of knowledge on Warhammer lore, but I will, until you let yourself be known to me, I will just doubt your existence entirely. So I will explain what I know. My Bulwark is red and gold to represent the Blood Angels, which is one of the many chapters of this game, of Warhammer. So, original first founding chapter, the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels were one of the original quote-unquote factions of this universe of Warhammer. They were one of the original armies made, right? And then, if I got this lore correct, the second founding here, these two, are individuals that existed in the Blood Angels, like, faction, which back when it was just the first original factions, like the Blood Angels, and okay, let me look at them all. First founding, there's the Dark Angels, White Scars, Raven Guard, Ultramarines, Salamanders, Space Wolves, Iron Hands, Imperial Fists, and Blood Angels. These guys, wait, let me actually count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? Wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5 plus 4. Sorry, I'm ADHD and I have a little bit of a math issue. I'm not dumb, but I am a little bit slow on the math. There's 9 here. Oh my fucking god. There's so many facts. There's so many. So, here's the thing. These guys are all the first founding, except this guy. The reason why there's a dotted line connected between these two is because these guys existed, and then these guys were these guys, but they split off into their own little division at some point in the lore. And that point is a very definitive point, but I don't want to explain that because there's so much to explain with that. But they're all called the Adeptus Astartes. Space Marines are genetically augmented warriors created as humanity's ultimate shock troops. Formerly known as the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines were forged by the Emperor himself with forgotten science, steeled in mind, body, and soul, and driven by their eternal duty. God damn my English. They are mankind's foremost defense against a dark and brutal universe that contains only war. But yeah, these guys were the originals, or 9 of the 20 originals. Oh wait, damn it. These are 9 of them, and in these guys, Heretic Astartes. Heretics are the bad guys, the people who turned on the Emperor, who became bad guys, fallen angels. Oh god, alarm. So these guys were part of these groups, but they went bad. So how many is there? There's 6. So 6 plus 9, that is 15. So we have 15 of 20 shown here. Yeah, Night Lords, World Eaters, Death Guard, Iron Warriors, Black Legion, Alpha Legion. I don't really have much information on these guys. I am continuing to learn. Then the unknown foundings. So these guys were groups of Space Marines that don't have a definitive Primarch. Their Primarch, which is basically their, like, kind of king, their leader, right? For example, Blood Angels, they had Sanguinius, which is one of the Primarchs. And then what's another one that's obvious? The Ultramarines had Guilliman, which is another Primarch. And then they all have their own Primarch. The Primarchs are kind of those who forged the Legion. These guys have their own Primarchs too, or had at least. But then these guys, it's kind of unclear which Primarch these guys connect to. Minotaurs, Exorcists, Blood Ravens, Taurens, Red Scorpions, Storm Giants, Carcharodons. Can someone explain how to pronounce that, please, if you know? And then Omega Marines. These guys, no one knows whose Primarch they belong. No one knows what Primarch these guys belong to, each individually, but they exist. And then there's this special DLC content for each, which contain, this is the Blood Angels. This is a more in-depth look of the Blood Angels. So the Blood Angels is one of the originals, right? Is the original one of 20. It's one of the original 20, right? The second founding ones, Flesh Terrors and Angel Sanguine, are groups of Space Marines that existed during the time of which the first founding was the only one in existence. But then there was, so the original few, these guys, except you, and then these guys plus a few more, all existed as 20 legions. And those 20 legions all existed under the Emperor. But then there's a very, very, very definitive and impactful point in the lore where one of the Primarchs turned on the Emperor. It's called the Horus Heresy. It's where one of the Primarchs, Horus, turns on the Emperor, and a whole civil war breaks out, where entire legions turn on the Emperor, and so on and so forth. Many people die, and one of those people being the Blood Angel's own Primarch dying. Anyway, so back then, before the Horus Heresy, there were 20 legions. Again, excluding you. You're a second founding. But the 20 legions, yeah, there's the Imperial Fists, right? But then after the Horus Heresy, the entire Rabaut Guilliman, which is the Primarch of the Ultramarines, decided, you know what? Let's split these guys up into smaller legions. Instead of one legion containing anywhere between 50,000 and I think, what was it, 250,000 Space Marines, there will be chapters, is the name of them, which contain 1,000 men each. So now there are the Imperial Fists, but then one of the factions that came to existence after the Heresy, they existed before the Heresy, they were just not considered a separate group. The Black Templars, they were considered Imperial Fists as well until the Horus Heresy, where they decided to split and become their own chapter, right? So they're considered second foundings, where they existed in the first founding, but they only gained their own kind of providence and power after the Heresy. So Black Templars existed before the Heresy, but were more known after. And then let's go to the Blood Angels. So Blood Angels existed, right? And then the Angel Sanguine and Flesh Terrors were both considered Blood Angels before the Heresy, but after the Heresy, these guys split off into their own groups. But then there's successor chapters, which is... oh god, how do I explain this? So, it's kind of like a chapter that came into existence due to a sped-up evolutionary process. The gene seed. Another bit of lore for all of you. Prepare your notebooks, boys and girls. Gene seed. It took me a little while to learn about this thing because it's more complex than you think it is. So, whatever you may be thinking, gene seed being literally a seed that you plant into somebody that contains genetic material, that's somewhat right to an extent, but it isn't. So, the Space Marines... Okay, let me diverge because I need to tell you this to make more sense of the gene seed. Okay, reset your brains, people. Before the Horus Heresy, there were Space Marines, right? The original 20 legions of Space Marines. These guys are called firstborn Space Marines, where you are born with 19 extra organs. I don't remember the name of all these organs, obviously, because, well, some of the names are really complex, but I do remember the functions of at least some of them. So, Space Marines, you've noticed, probably, that Space Marines are fucking massive. This is a normal human being, I guess. But yeah, like, I don't really know how to access photo mode, if there is one. Yeah, photo mode. This guy is even on a higher level. Wait, how do I... Okay, that's that. Yeah, so this guy's still, like, I'd say probably a foot higher, but even then, I'm still taller than this guy by however many feet this appears to be. I know that Space Marines are like 8 to 9 feet tall, and this guy's an extra foot taller because he's on a platform. But like, yeah, they're fucking massive Space Marines. Like this guy, he has a heart, he has 2 lungs, right? He has all the normal organs probably. I say probably because, well, yeah. And plus, he's one of these guys. This symbol here kind of represents that they are in love with technology. So they praise the Omnissiah, which is kind of like which is kind of the god of technology, or like the Omnissiah is kind of the physical form of the god of technology, or the creator of technology. Oh shit. But anyway, those guys are mostly normal, right? 5 to 6 feet tall, right? About what I would say is average. But yeah, Space Marines, they are normal people who undergo this very complex process of having organs put in their body, extra organs. But what happens is they're kind of tested, like, normal people are put through tests to kind of show, hey, are you worthy of becoming a Space Marine in the first place? And if they are, then they'll have a gene seed put in them. So one of the organs of the Space Marine is contained in their chest and neck, where it's 2 small organs that kind of track the kind of performance of the other extra organs, and then kind of take in that information and then create another kind of blueprint. So imagine a gene seed, these particular organs, as they watch the performance of the extra organs, and then they go, huh, okay, this is how they're functioning. I will take in this information and store it for later, right? And so when a Space Marine dies, I don't really know who exactly does it, but a particular member of their particular chapter will come in to the dead body, take out these 2 particular organs in the chest and neck, and then they will take the information they will put this organ inside of another person, of a normal person, right? A normal person who earned their way to being a Space Marine by whatever means it was, because each chapter does it a little differently. But let's look into the Blood Angels just so it's a little bit more simplified, because the normal chapter, most average method of doing this is they are put through tests, and then they are, I think they're put in some sort of they are put into a deep sleep by some anesthesia of some kind, and then a kind of surgery happens where you put these two organs into this extra person. Either that, or you take the genetic material from one of them and then copy it. Wait, no. They take the two organs that they took from a dead space marine with the genetic save of that particular space marine. They put it into this normal person, and then for the normal faction, for the normal chapters, what they do is oh god. What they do is god, my brain's lagging. Just give me a moment. They put it into a normal person, and then the normal chapters, the regular average chapters, it's a procedural process where they procedurally, where this organ will take flesh material from your body. Let's say you are the person. This organ will take flesh from you and then morph it somehow. Let's put this kind of rule of fiction in and just forget reality for a second. It is very, like, they have, like, the creators of Warhammer have kind of ensured that things would biologically make sense. Like, they made the Space Marines bigger to contain all these extra organs, right? And they made them super strong to make sure they can handle it, and blah, 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 blah. But the fact that they have extra organs in the first place, that's a fictional thing. That's just, imagine that's normal. But anyway, this organ will take flesh from your body. They'll take flesh matter, already existing matter, and then morph it somehow into these extra organs over time. Over years, even decades, I think. And so in the end, you would have grown an extra like 3 feet, like this guy in front of us here. You know what, just so I have something to do and you're not seeing a blank fucking screen for the entire time, let's just do something as I talk. But yeah, you will grow an extra 3 fucking feet. Like, look, god damn, right? Like, whoa. But then the reason why you grow so big is so that you have more room for the extra organs. One of them, so you get a third lung, which helps you breathe underwater. Don't question how that works, but the third lung makes it so that you are able to breathe underwater, and so you have better oxygen flow through your fucking blood. And then they made it so that your muscle growth was dramatically enhanced, so that it can actually, so that your body itself can contain the so that your body can actually contain and withstand the effort and power needed to keep you alive with all these extra organs. And then to improve blood flow, they also put in you also gain a second heart. That also makes sense, I guess. to keep you alive with all these with all this extra shit going on. But you will earn yourself an extra heart and an extra lung. So now you have 3 lungs and 2 hearts. The second heart kind of acts as a backup in case one of the 2 of them actually does get killed somehow, like stabbed. You get stabbed in the heart or something, right? The first one is still operational, and it can still imagine one of the 2 hearts does die somehow or fail. The first heart does work hard enough to keep the Space Marine alive, but it won't be as efficient as 2 of the hearts together. And then they made the muscle growth exponentially enhanced to withstand all of this and to give them extreme strength. And then the rib cage, each rib is made of like this bent rod that kind of bends around your chest, right? So imagine taking the rod and just squishing it, flattening it into a small plate. Each rib being a plate. Each of these ribs are plates now. And of course, it takes more muscle mass to actually move and stretch your rib cage now. But other than that, yeah, now, because of that, it results in you being bulletproof. And then, as you let out, and then, yeah, you have basically this bulletproof rib cage now.
Swarm mines inbound. Intercepting projectiles.
You have this bulletproof rib cage now, basically. So yeah, bulletproof rib cage, and then there's an organ there's an organ in your in the small intestines, which allows for, it turns the Space Marine's sweat into this waxy substance that is highly resistant to extreme cold and extreme heat, so basically extreme temperatures, and then it also makes you resistant to the vacuum of space. Where was I originally with this? Oh yeah, right. Yeah, you get all these extra organs. But then, that's what all of the firstborn Marines are born with. Or not born with, but are given. And then, after the Horus Heresy, I'm going back to the original topic that I diverted from. But, yeah, that's some of what the Marines were born with, or given. But then after the heresy, Guilliman, the Ultramarines Primarch, figured there needed to be a stronger Space Marine. So he created the Primaris Marines, which are a stronger variant of the normal Marine. The stronger variant contains 3 extra organs. The 3 organs being some sort of emergency system where when you're close to dying or when you take a fatal wound, your body floods itself with adrenaline to keep you alive despite it being a fatal wound. That's only one of them. Another thing is you get these metal wires like laced between your muscle fibers to enhance your strength and durability even further. But then through that even, I think you're also given, I don't actually know what the other one is, I don't remember. Oh god, I am distracted heavily. Fire! Fire! Fuck you. Yeah. Anyway, the Primaris Marines are... Oh yeah, right, the third organ of the Primaris Marines is, this fucking carbon fiber sheet placed directly under your skin that makes you even more bulletproof. But, anyway, after the Horus Heresy, Primaris Marines existed. And if you weren't a Primaris Marine, and you were a Firstborn, like, so the Primaris Marines have 3 extra organs than the 19 the Firstborns were born with, right? So, if you were a Firstborn Marine with only 19 organs instead of the 22, you can go undergo a surgery that adds these extra organs, if you so desired it. Oh god. Oh, I'm low on ammo. Fuck. And then, oh god. Oh. Okay. Ow, damn. Stop hitting me, guys. There's enough of me for all y'all. But yeah, so all the successor chapters that existed. So there's a whole bunch of successor chapters that came to be, that are separate from the first founding, one of the original 20 legions, and then the groups that existed after the heresy from the original legions, which are called the second founding. But the successor chapters are all of the chapters that have the gene seed of their original first founding chapter. So, like, the gene seed of a Blood Angel is the same gene seed. The genetic information that a Blood Angel gene seed would have is the same genetic information that all the Blood Angel gene seeds have. But the successor chapters are chapters whose, yeah, the gene seed is the same, so they have the same genetic material, so they are still under the same Primarch, but they are Primaris Marines. They're given the extra organs off the bat after their test was passed.
Explosive payload insufficient.
So there's a whole bunch more successor chapters after the original 2 that exist. Currently, right now, my heavy here is a Salamander, which is one of the original legions.
Support mind.
Eh.
Stop target from calling up fresh reserves.
Oh.
Your orders. Purge me in 5 days.
Anyway, yeah, that's how the legions work and their chapters. Each legion, so far as I know, does have successor chapters and second foundings. Probably.
High priority units delivered.
But yeah, let me know what your guys' favorite chapter is, because you can probably tell my favorites. Blood Angels and the Salamanders. The reason why Blood Angels is my favorite, though, is because I relate so heavily to them. Not in the way that they are trying to be noble, humble, selfless heroes, but they have this kind of tragic instinct that and bloodthirst. But like the salamanders, they're just naturally kind and compassionate from the get-go. They don't struggle with any internal battles or nothing regarding that. But the Blood Angels, they do. The Blood Angels were originally cannibalistic monsters, were trained in the ways of compassion and discipline by Sanguinius, their Primarch, and some other legions that existed at the time. And so they did become very noble, humble, artistic people, but their cannibalistic, bloodthirsty nature still exists the same way. It still exists as some sort of instinctive pull. Like you can't get rid of instinct, right? That's basically how it works. Like, we are people, human beings. We have our logical minds, but then there is our instinct, our gut feeling. That is basically the equivalent of the instinct of the Blood Angels. But the Blood Angels' instinct is way more violent. They consider it the curses of their gene seed, of Sanguinius, where the Red Thirst and the Black Rage. The Red Thirst is a result of who they once were before Sanguinius, which is quite literally cannibalistic monsters. They were once cannibalistic monsters, and so one of their issues is the Red Thirst, which is what they call their instinct when they crave violence and blood, where they just want to see blood, they want to eat, they want to drink blood. They are bloodthirsty cannibals that want nothing more than to kill. That's them when they let the Red Thirst take over. Which sometimes can happen. They sometimes are overtaken by their instinct, which the Blood Angels discourage. But despite their red thirst, their bloodthirst, their evil rage, that sort of thing, they strive to be as compassionate and good-hearted as the salamanders, who are effortlessly compassionate to the people of the Imperium. Anyone who follows under the Emperor are those who will gain compassion by the salamanders. And the Blood Angels strive to be that compassionate while struggling with their internal battles. I relate so heavily to that, where it's like, I'm struggling, since I'm ADHD and all that, I struggle with
explosive payload
instinctive urges and, like, maybe I feel like doing this, but I know it's not what I should be doing or whatever the hell. I do struggle with the instinctive desire to do something or whatever the hell, or whatever I think is right to do instinctively, but not logically.
explosive payload insufficient.
Right? Like,
Source additional warfare.
so I relate so heavily to the Blood Angels, and I always strive to be better. I need ammo. No. Ah.
Explosive payload insufficient. Source additional war gear.
I need to find ammo. Oh shit. Fire!
Iron payload protocol in progress. System need recalibration. Explosive payload insufficient. Source additional war gear.
We gotta move. But yeah, I gave out my explanation of my favorite chapter, the Blood Angels. I would like to know all of your favorites. If you guys know enough about Warhammer to actually have a favorite chapter legitimately. I know some of you do, but I'd like you to say in the comments on my video. Also, that would be just a great help anyway. Oh god, I'm gonna have to lock in here real quick. Don't mind me.
Xenos countermeasures successful.
Haha. But yeah, I'm gonna try and do as much as I can here. And I think I'm gonna make a video on every class and like 1 or 2 missions within it that I can possibly do within the time limit of my videos, which is I can only really do 1 hour. Like literally I can do 59 minutes 59 seconds. That is the time limit for my video creation. I wish I can make longer videos, but
Charge primed. Ambush prepared.
maybe I can section them off. Maybe I can like split vids into smaller chunks. Just so I can maybe make one video where I'm just talking about something and then make some sort of moment where it's a clear cut for me to make a second video on something else within the same session. I wish the NPCs helped out with the bomb placement a little more than they do. Really? Oh, guys. Don't even try it. Ground pound! Ow. Yeah. Oh, we got random. I didn't even notice. Please. Raven Guard. Yeah! Raven Guard being the masters of stealth and guerrilla warfare. Salamanders are extremely compassionate blacksmiths who have an obsession with fire. Or no, not an obsession with it, but they're really good with it. And then the Blood Angels are extremely noble people who struggle with their internal bad guy, basically. I'm gonna try the multi-melta now. Should be a little bit more interesting than the flamethrower. What the fuck are you doing, bro?
Astartes! We were not expecting such illustrious company in the rear ranks. We've got a handle on these probing strikes, my lords. It's the relay that's getting hammered right now.
Xenos Overlord is inbound. Prepare for intense combat.
That's news. Without armor support to tackle a target that big,
You
we
are
may have to bring down the supply
praised
bridge.
for battle, my guy.
Charges are armed and in place.
Is this a withdrawal order?
Negative. The objective is the Hive Tyrant, not the bridge. Defend this position until the Tyranid command unit is executed.
Understood, my lord. May the Emperor guide our lasguns to your support.
Incoming!
Ready up, Eighth! Show the Emperor's angels what we are made of!
Aha!
Flank! See us on the roof!
Another name for the Space Marines is Angels of Death, or the Emperor's Angels. Imagine the Emperor like God himself, and then the Space Marines like the Angels of God. That's kind of how it's structured.
Don't let
The Hive Tyrant is on its way, but it is a horde of Xenos between you and it.
on us!
Dig in for the long haul.
I fucking love the heavy. Whoa. I seem to be best with him, to be honest. I'm doing my job, I'm getting executions, I'm not really dying, but then again I am on average. But then again my heavy is under-leveled as fuck for this.
Keep your eyes peeled. The Xenos made their beast within visual range shortly.
Its mere existence affronts both
You,
the eye
you
and
good,
the
dude? You seeing shit?
I've never seen such an atrocity.
Oh.
Hold. Give the Hive beast a moment. Detonate the charges now.
We gotta go super speed, because it is... my timer's nearly up. But yeah, like the video and subscribe if you like my content, no matter how random or unpredictable it is. If you like Warhammer, please subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more of it. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing more of it for, but I'm going to be doing more of it. We need to zoom, because I am 51 minutes in, and I only have 8 minutes or 7 minutes left.
The swarm would go feral without their connection to the Hive mind, but their focus is still on the relay. Reports
This is gonna be a
confirm the
little
Lieutenant's
crazy.
assessment. Enemy cohesion is still
You
in full
are
effect.
not built for the
That
Raven
beast
Guard,
is
buddy.
not yet dead. Sounds like we have a hunt, brothers. We can hold this position, Lords. We'll keep the swarm off your backs while you hunt that thing.
Oh, you're just a random ass. The red one's a chapter of his own, it seems like.
I would leave it to a lingering death under there were it not still directing the
Nope.
swarm.
I think he's a Lamenter. He's like a mix of Lamenter and Blood Angel, which is kind of both. Eh?
Calibrate your aim, brother. Mycetic bombardment detected.
You lack further, brother.
Your point?
What stirs your passion if not combat?
Preparing for combat.
Your heart is as cold and still as stone.
We have it routed. It merely steadies my aim.
Pursue and eliminate. We will not have a better opportunity to finish it off.
Let's go kill ourselves a hive tyrant, brothers.
The Emperor sees. Injecting stim.
I wish executions got me ammunition or something. Rah!
No lines of fire. Continue pursuit. For the Emperor!
Yep, 5 minutes left, boys.
Ready for next encounter.
Let's do this.
Tell us a report.
The vile Xenos slinks through the shadows.
I'll tell you how it goes, guys.
Judgment.